You just don't see a traditional offlaner here beyond the Mirana. So do they want to get Sing Sing farm is the question. If he's put in like a solo safe lane position while they go aggro with Earthshaker, Drow, and Visage, then obviously he'll be able to win out against the Clockwork because he'll have the Drow's right-click damage or bonus. So I think that honestly I could see Team Tinker benefiting a lot from a 3v3 on the top lane.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll see how the lanes come down. I'm rather curious myself here. And of course, we'll move into a pause as Team Marino, Tinkerino having some general issues. And what on earth is this Mirana getup? What is this hat? Snowstorm hood? She's preparing for a blizzard blaze?
Well, it's got like +1% magic resistance against Tusk and Crystal Maiden, so you get that nice pay-to-win stat going for you. But no,
Jinky the Lion. Oh my god, look at this thing. Look, he's got dreads. I like it.
Something new.
Jinky the Lion.
Just yeah, interesting names on a couple of the cosmetics too, but
God. Alright, I have never seen this cosmetic before. I like it, man. That's alright, that's very distracting.
well, I'm sure we'll get used to it pretty quickly. At least he's not running the ability modifier on his arrow, where you see the thing as plain as day. That's a really glowing artifact.
Wonky. But, yeah. Oh, the Beaver Knight. It's a cute little courier. It's your Sing Pro gear right there, like that. Cute pie. And Dire side, we got to do this here. Ooh, the little the weasel thing, the sloth, coffee sloth. Cute. Nice. All right. So lanes, how's it going to look for the anchors? Looks like Trixie will be headed off lane on the ridiculous Clockwork set. It will be Jerax playing on the Skywrath Mage. Boogie here on the Grand Magus Rubik. They will be roaming around as Matumba Man takes the mid lane on the Sniper, and that puts Bolix in the safe lane farming role on the position 1 Razor.
Yep, so they're going to be obviously just holding position right now. It looks like Sing Sing is going to indeed take that off lane. Just Tangos and Wraithband may actually do a little bit of ancient farming if he has a really rough time on the lane, but otherwise it's just going to be Bulbul to pull it back with an early Fissure, and he should be able to get some good experience there.
Yep, and on the Radiant side, looking at Koikva in the mid on the DP, the 2-1-2 coming out, Pycat on the Dro, EGM on the Visage. They'll be in the bottom lane together, and Bulba, he'll take the Earthshaker towards the top with Sing Sing on the Mirana. He'll block out, so they'll get some nice lane control on the top lane. I think you were just talking about that, so it's good stuff coming out. Initial wards, we've got Dire Observer, one blocking the pole camp here, and Radiant going to put their first Observer on the high ground outside of their Ancients. Get a little vision control of the runes. Regen picked up by Mirana first, and the Bounty will get snagged by Trixie. There's also a lane ward down on the Dire side here up top. That means they are definitely ready to fight and put some pressure on this lane.
So we're going to see things started off here. Obviously, for anchors, they need to really gain a lot in the early game as far as farm goes, because very quickly Team Tinker are going to be ramping up their aggression. Around level 6 and towards level 11, Pycat can infuse his entire team with a huge amount of damage, and they're going to be able to bring down towers very quickly. So these first 5 minutes, they have to make the most of them, because soon enough the game is going to be dictated by Team Tinker's movements, and this is the only time they really have things under their control. So right now it's Boogie moving around with the boots first against Koiko on the mid, maybe just trying to make sure that he doesn't get first blooded, as Sniper is a little prone to that before he gets some points in his range.
Definitely. Bulba will just block out the top lane, then start roaming about. No boots on him, but he'll be the one just kind of working the jungle here. Without the pole camp down bottom, they didn't sentry it or try and get any control back. It will be a little bit difficult for Tinker to maintain lane control down bottom, which is great news for Trixie. He's getting harassed pretty hard and won't be your first blood coming out, but still taking a lot of damage despite finding some decent experience and already getting his level 2.
Yeah, that pull is actually really important for them, because obviously like, they need clarities and stuff to get themselves going, and that's why obviously they didn't pick any up just yet. But if they don't unlock that pull, EGM's not going to get his independent experience, and that means Pycat's not going to get his essentially solo lane. They do get some good harassment on the Trixie. Obviously, a kill going in their favor would nullify these issues, but at least for now, getting the dual split of experience and getting absolutely nothing for Bulba is really bad news for them. They want to get experience momentum, and right now it's going to be going the other way. Bulba will stack up for Koikwa a little bit, and maybe when it's cleared out, he'll eat some of that experience by being nearby, but at least for now, they are going to be roaming around with level 1 and level 2 supports for quite some time.
Yeah, Drow Ranger still just laying into Trixie anytime he gets close to the creep wave. Just throwing those frost arrows his way, and there will be potential for a kill once they get a bit more experience. Trixie will be a little late headed to the rune. It will be picked up by Bulba, so some much needed experience for him. Fissure will block him out, but nothing else that Bulba can do here. Now stuck inside of the cogs. Battery Assault doing some
Trixie's
okay
dead.
damage, but EGM is here, and this is likely to be your first blood. EGM will do it with the Soul Assumption,
What
and
was
Trixie
that?
will fall.
He has the ability to one-shot his own cogs and walk away from that. It's not like Bulba has another Fissure for several seconds, but he just didn't assume that Visage would walk over there and Soul Assumption him, and in the end, it's a Trixie feat, unfortunately. I think I remember a stat like Fnatic had like an over 80% win rate when Trixie wasn't First Blood, but we see that's not going to be to their advantage this time around. Sing Sing will actually get pinned down by 3, but leaps away, and there's telekinesis was already used, so he couldn't interrupt the leap with the TK. So Sing Sing will live, Boogie will chase, and in the end, just a few auto attacks will go against him.
Yeah, Boogie needs to be a little bit careful here. They start throwing out some pings like, dude, you're in deep. Koikva will rotate over. Only level 4, but we'll be able to do some decent damage to Boogie, and if he could path block it long enough to get some support inbound, Koikva, he gets high grounded.
Yeah,
And
maybe the Flying Courier route, but still, it's annoying.
Not that bad, but still, that's just extra time he's stuck, and an extra TP scroll he has to buy, so that does cost him some. Apparently, Dryitch thinks it's hysterical.
Of course, who wouldn't? I mean, we haven't seen high ground cliff from Rubik in a very, very long time, ever since they patched it for majority of the cliffs. But this is one you don't rotate around as much, and it just depends on how you click it. We do see Trixie flanking on Bulba here. Could be really bad for him if he gets in range for the battery assault. The Bulba can't cast within the cogs, and we also see at the same time Koikva is being pulled back. So will there be a Fissure to disrupt this all? There it is, but it doesn't hit on the other two. They might still get him going in, but a nice arrow, and Trixie dies once again.
Oh man, a noble effort, but the arrow rotation from Sing Sing spot on and makes it a one for him the opposite way. Boogie will grab the bounty. No! Sing Sing, he leaps in, steals the rune, and now Boogie taking a lot of damage. Sing will have an arrow up in just a second. May try to chuck it across the ravine here, then go for a follow-up kill, throws it into the lane, hits Matumba Man. Sing Sing, shoot arrow, hit arrow, and now this sniper in more than a lot of trouble. EGM comes in, the Fissure will block him out. They might be able to get Boogie as well. EGM with a big Soul Assumption stored up, but just can't get in position.
Yeah.
And that'll make it 3-0 to get this game started, and Team Tinker off to a hell of a start.
Well, experience isn't going to be an issue here. They're getting a lot of kill momentum, and they are going to be building up towards higher levels before you know it. For now, Nighttime saves Rubik, because he definitely would have died to Soul Assumption otherwise, but, you know, losing the momentum of the game by far, the Clockwork being under the gun to get his level 6 and get some kills in their favor, it's bad news, because obviously we have some vulnerable heroes here. The Skywrath, the Rubik, the Sniper all drop down very low very quickly, and that's what makes this Visage Soul Assumption so strong. The Familiars, as we mentioned, might be a little lackluster despite being paired with a Drow, but the Soul Assumption is just going to be taking huge chunks out of their HP pools.
Yeah, I mean, it's already done a fair bit of work, secured that first blood for him, and Trixie just having trouble across the board. He's level 4, which is okay for this stage of the game, but only 6 last hits. He's already died twice, just boots, stout shield, and no regeneration. As soon as Dro finds level 6, he needs to be very careful, as Pycat will definitely have some solo kill potential. Jerax smokes up to the high ground. Koikva, great map awareness, will just rotate up there. They have a ward down, reveals the smoke, and sees the positioning of the Skywrath. So, will not be successful in this gank. In the mid lane going very well for Koikva. Sniper 20-6 versus the 35-9 DP. So a very obvious advantage here for Team Tinker.
Oh, the room will spawn though, and Jerax will keep that covered. Sing Sing though, looking for a spell combo. No arrow just yet, but finally regen gets hit on Jerax, cancelled out, and Sing Sing is getting assassinated. No mana to cast the arrow after the Starstorm, and actually the assassination was just cancelled out by Matumba Man, as he probably is going to be heading back to base to get mana anyways.
Yeah, and
maybe. I mean, the creep wave's coming up top, so maybe he's just going to let it regen slowly, but the Aquila helps with that, of course.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. What do 4 rankers need to do to get back in this?
They need this Clockwork to find level 6, and he's doing that right now. Once he has Hookshot available, I think that'll be the beginning of their momentum. The only one they have farming really well is this Razor. Volix has now found level 6, Power Treads, Ring of Basilius, and they might need to get him involved a little bit earlier than they would have liked. I think Razor will need to go for a fast mech. I don't know if that's going to be his item build of choice yet. Hasn't bought any items towards it, but I think an early mech and then Clockwork finding level 6, moving around to help set up kills will be the beginning of it. But even Skywrath not close to 6. Rubik is still only level 2. Alright, scratch everything. Priority is get some experience on Boogie.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And this is what I was talking about before, is that roaming around with the Skywrath, you're not going to be able to get too much. And yeah, he really, I mean, this is even low for a roaming support, even if he is 0/0/0. But yeah, this level 6 is extremely important too. Like the Clockwork, now that he has it, it's good for him, but they need to get a high priority kill with this hookshot in the presence of Rubik, because if without a spell steal on something like Fisher or Crypt Swarm, Soul Assumption Arrow, anything, they're not going to be able to follow that up with more blood.
Yeah, and Trixie taking
Trixie's
a lot
dead?
of damage here. Soul Assumption stacking up some charges.
the bottle.
EGM will find it. The nuke not enough to secure the kill as he does sip up the bottle for some regeneration.
That courier came out just in time too. Yeah. If he hadn't gotten those bottle sips, that would have been a kill.
Yeah, most definitely. Now the smoke rotation from Jerax and Boogie. Pycat on the high ground will reveal it. He's just going in hard here. Marksmanship doing a hell of a lot of damage. Boogie with the defensive telekinesis will buy them the space they need. Koikba coming in. Hook shot.
He's trying to get out. He was hit by the Fisher,
mark, yeah.
hit by the Soul Assumption, and he almost got out with the hook shot, but whether or not it hit, he had already gotten the projectiles against him.
Yep, so that'll make it 4-0. And another kill on the Clockwork. So that's Trixie now 0-3-0. Oh, and now at this point he's died so many times he just gets that mark. He's the weak one, and that's the target you want to go for when you're looking for just a freebie in these skirmishes.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
A lot riding on the back of the Razor and the Sniper right now. Both of them finding some space to farm. Sniper is at least level 8. What's coming out on the Courier here, and that'll be his Power Treads and his Aquila. So that's something.
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking at these small progressions saying that's something, but there's nothing here that's putting them back in the game. Until they get another ultimate available, or somebody is just completely by themselves and Trixie punishes it, it's just going to be more pain going their direction. We do see Familiar scouting out Trixie here, and knowing that, they pretty much won't be caught out by him under any circumstance. So it's just back to farming and just at least stopping the bleeding by holding their position under the towers.
Yeah, Dro Ranger is getting huge, and Pycat going for just this early combative build. Triple Wraith Band on his Power Treads. A ton of early agility, and just going for that little edge right now. He is in fighting shape, and Marana has now found level 6. Moonlight Shadows ready to rock and roll.
And that build is not just for him, it's for his aura. Everything's from agility, so the big thing here is just making sure that he gets 1 point in Gust and then immediately going for the max precision aura as quickly as possible. And at level 11, the damage is going to be so insane on the Familiars and everyone. And we are going to see EGM go for the Aghanim Scepter very quickly, so it's very common in the strategy with the Drow Visage to go for a very quick Axe and get the third bird up, but he has to micro very carefully because they can drop quickly, but the damage they can put out is also very insane.
Yep, absolutely right. And up top, pardon me, that was my bad. Razor will get picked off as they use their first successful Moonlight Shadow and bring down the Razor. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Koikba chasing down Matumba Man, and he'll play Ring Around the Rosie, but the Ghosts no fog, and it'll be 2-0 kind of across the map here, and it's not even done yet. Plenty of time left on the Exorcism.
He's gonna get him! Oh my gosh!
Jerax won't be able to TP out, and Koikba, he's just soloing the world right now.
Who can stop him?
No.
Without ultimates. If they had like a Mystic Flare, if they had Spell Steal, they could bring him down, but this is still level... Rubik just hit level 3. Like, oh, this is such a shutout. And down bottom lane, at least there is going to be a solo kill. Trixie pins down the Visage, and he didn't have some Familiars available, so that's an easy kill. And on the mid lane, Pycat going down with one more right click. Volix will pick that up as well, so a couple of kills rebounding, but of course the tier 1 falling on the top lane.
Yeah, definitely right. The tower going down. Looking at the graph, that's just a minor pickup here after all this momentum they've grabbed. Rubik's still level 3, didn't get any experience out of those kills. And this is, still a pretty disastrous situation for the Dire side. Oh, up top, will they be able to find Sing Sing? Volix just barely misses the plasma field. And
Unless Boogie's there, I don't think they have any kill potential against Sing Sing. Even 1 point in leap, as nerfed as it is enough to escape from everything that Razor and Clockwork are attempting against him. But mid lane.
Yeah, Koikba and Bulba maybe in some trouble. The Assassinate flies through. The tower does get denied by Rubik, but just look at how much damage Boogie takes
my
just with
gosh!
the right clicks alone.
That
Oh
aura.
no! Now off to the backside, Pycat will lose some of his right click power. Koikba going in hard on Jerax. He's just clicking him down. This is absurd. He'll finally fall. It is Clockwork that ends the streak, so he gets a decent pick-me-up there with 1,800 gold now in the bank. But this Death Prophet, man, he's just out of control.
It's just absolutely insane. He's hitting for 140 damage against Skywrath because he has no armor and because of the Drow aura. This is just so insane how easily he makes this game look. But yeah, they're just racking up the kills. They don't get the tower. It was denied by Rubik. But in the meantime, Sing Sing gets to free farm on the top lane. Visage is building up towards his Ag soon as well. Only 1,000, not even 900 gold away from the Aghanim Scepter. And that's going to be perfectly in sync with his level 2 ultimate, the level 11 progression for Visage.
Wow. Just wow. Looking at the graph now, stagnating around 5,000 gold, 2,000 experience. It's only 2 towers down. Koikba will rotate down bottom, has his level 11, and he'll just use the Exorcism right away. They want to finish off this tower, and Trixie will get caught inside of the Yules. I think he'll be hard-pressed to survive this one. Will take a silence. Nowhere to hookshot to, and Familiars will be able to chase him down over the tree line. Maybe he'll live as Volix comes in. EGM will take an Assassinate. Down he goes as Koikva, still standing his ground, doing as much damage as possible. It will just end as a 1-0 going the other way. So 4 anchors showing us they've got a sign of life if they have the numbers advantage at least. It was just 2 heroes on the side of Team Tinker. Hookshot will be off the mark.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he had vision right before Motombo Man closed distance with Korkoa, but in this case, they definitely need more. That was nice, obviously, but it's killing a support Visage. A couple of shots into him, like shrapnel ticks, and he's going to be down to 0 armor, so he is a very easy hero to pick off, but yeah, at least something. Trixie surviving, EGM falling, and delaying the Aghanims just a little bit there. But top lane, Sing Sing is fearless here. There really is very little they can do unless they connect with the silence from Jerax. They have to go concussive silence onto him immediately, but Sing Sing seems to be aware of the threat and phase booting away.
Yeah, with the Mystic Flare, they now have a semi-scary amount of damage output, but Sing does not have an ultimate here. Throws a fishing arrow over the tree line, won't find anyone, and they'll ping him out once more as he retreats to safety. Koikva and Bulba up to it again down here in the bottom lane as Familiars are hanging out, splitting the map. EGM rotating top. Now just 1 piece away from that Aghanim. Will join Sing Sing. It looks like they'll go for a bit of a fight as Sing Sing takes the silence. Mystic Flare. Not enough mana on the Jerax. Oh no, now Boogie just gets turned around on. Arrow flies through. Jerax will sidestep it. But that would have been a different story had he had just a slightly larger mana pool.
Yeah, and they can't make movements like that. Like, it's great for trying to go for the 2 versus 1. They do have kill potential, but bottom lane.
Yeah, TP coming in, and Boogie will be the one to fly through, but Bulba just hits him with a dunk. Crypt Swarm almost brings him down. The mech will bring him back up. Koikva will get finished off. Bulba tries the TP home. Mystic Flare's on point, and it will be a 2-0 in the bottom lane, but up top, Sing Sing and EGM are pressuring this tier 2 tower quite hard. Glyph's already been used. It will trade 2 heroes in exchange for a tower. EGM will pick up the last hit.
Yeah, in theory, if they had immediately gone for a deny... Oh, okay, actually picking up a kill and Sing Sing through the Assassinate on the tail end of that. The Rocket Flare is at rank 3, so a little bit of damage from Trixie, a lot of damage from Motombo Man, and they do actually get a kill out of that, so that's not too bad. The only way the tower could have survived is if they had actually immediately gone for the deny on their tier 1 bottom, refreshing their Glyph, and then using it as a time buffer to TP to the top lane and try to defend. But in the end, no next level plays like that. The tier 2 falls. The Visage finishes his Aghanim Scepter, and yeah, I guess he'll be resummoning in about 100 seconds to get that 3rd bird up. In the meantime, though, we do see Pycat starting to farm up the Ancients. He really wants that level 11. 4 points of Precision Aura is great with the Yasha, the 3 Wraith Bands, the Treads. He obviously is giving a lot of damage to Koikwa, but he wants a little more. We're going to see the arrow down bottom. Boogie was obviously denying the tower, and oh my gosh, that was close. But in the end, the arrow dissipates just behind his cloak, and he will be able to survive and farm up his level 6 off this wave.
Falls short, and finally, 16 minutes in, we'll have a level 6 Rubik I guess better late than never is what they say, and PyCat will be very close to his level 11 after this Ancient stack is completed. He's picked up the Yasha now, and is going for that good farming tool, getting a lot of extra agility also. EGM's now completed his Aghanim Scepter. Means he'll have another bird out on the field coming up pretty soon here. So this is pretty good stuff coming out. All around the board. Yeah, Bulba's still very far off that Blink Dagger, but that's okay. To be honest, they almost don't need it at this point. The fissures alone are enough to create the space. Sniper is starting to get some momentum, though. That Mask of Madness, always a risky item choice here, and if he can sit back and get off all the auto attacks, does have maxed out take aim. Of course, a lot of damage he can put out, but if they jump on him, that Mask of Madness is not going to do a hell of a lot.
Yep, so we're going to be seeing them just kind of spread the map a little bit here, just farming across the board. They've gotten nice control of the jungle and such like that, but it's going to be PyCat and EGM to make their smoke movement here towards the bottom rune and towards Roche. They could actually do Roche if it's not scouted by Rocket Flare, but Trixie's coming by. Will he break the smoke? No, they get in the pit, just barely, and they see with their Radiant Observer Ward that he was nearby. The question is, will he find the opening? No, he Rocket Flares the other way, and this is a free Roshan for the side of Team Tigger. Such a sneaky play.
No medallion on the in the inventory of EGM, so it won't be that super fast Roche that they could have had otherwise. Trixie, he's in the vicinity, but he just has absolutely no idea. Or do they? They're starting to converge. Two heroes are missing. Will they move into the pit, or is this just posturing for that bottom tier 1 tower? Invisibility rune picked up by Trixie, but Roche goes down, and Trixie goes, oh god, get the rune, get the hell out of here. And he will live. But Aegis of the Immortal goes in the inventory of PyCat.
Right under their noses, man. That is just absolutely insane. Medallion or not, they do crazy damage with this aura, and 3 birds are now up. Level 11 was attained because of that Roche kill, and PyCat not going to be out in time, so at least the Aegis will be popped, but that experience given to the Visage there is the most important thing.
PyCat now stuck inside of the cogs. Will take a Mystic Flare. That's enough to bring him down. Visage coming in. Has enough for a Soul Assumption to secure the kill onto the Skywrath. Now Bulba joining the party. Assassinate. Not doing enough to bring EGM down for a kill. Now Koikba flying in hot.
Stolen.
The ultimate online. Mech's used by Volix, but he'll get stunned up by the arrow. Takes a Crypt Swarm. Instead, they'll just have to go from a Tumba Man. He gets dunked. That'll bring him down. And a stolen Exorcism indeed, as you pointed out. Will chase down Sing Sing. He'll be able to survive, I think. Volix getting chased down by Koikva. His ultimate is still online. The Ghosts are trying to catch up. The ultimate from the Razor, ticking him down. Will they have the damage? The Crypt Swarm whiffs. That would have been a kill otherwise. And will just use the Yules onto the Skywrath, and they'll make the retreat. Chaotic exchange, but it is 4 anchors that kind of minimized their losses there after a nice steal from the Rubik.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Roshan is really bad news for them, because then suddenly Visage is level 11 with his Ags. He got so much gold now with the mechanism on top, and the Familiar is just going to do some crazy work. But at the same time, they did get a kill on the Drow. They did limit her progression a little bit, and they did get some much-needed golden experience. But I still don't see them having a full answer. Like right now, PyCat got a Blink Dagger, so he can reposition really well against his opposition, and as long as he survives through the fight with his aura active, he's already doing his job. Because if you actually do the math on the Familiars, essentially right now the Drow Aura is providing 50 bonus damage to each hero and each Familiar. And what that means is, since they attack 2.5 times a second at 0.4 BAT, that you're doing 7.5 times that 60 bonus and every second for these Familiars. It's absolutely absurd numbers, and 4 anchors don't have an answer for it. The mech is okay, but that's all. And they just have to kill these things with the Eye of the Storm, which is now just rank 2 with no Ags.
Yeah, the Ags is on the way, but still about 1,600 gold off. Assassinate will tickle Koikva, but he has his BKB complete now, so he is pretty damn tanky just in general, and we'll have 10 seconds of magic immunity coming up in this next exchange. They are going to angle for this tier 2 tower mid. 4 anchors do have a glyph, and Volix just kind of cruising around here. They're looking for the right angle to initiate. Trixie, of course, wants a hook shot to get things started off here. He has found his level 11. Arrow flies through, almost hits Matumba Man as the Familiars come in to distract him. The Stone Form will not connect with any stuns, and over the tree line, the Familiars should be able to survive. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the tower will start taking damage. They really want these Familiars. They'll find 2. and then they'll get resummoned right in the mid. They got at least one, maybe that was it, but this tower just getting melted, and they still have the exorcism available.
Sing Sing dodges an assassinate with a leap there, and this will survive. The last right click against the tower is going to go to the Rubik. Very nicely done again, and he pulls out Exorcism number 2 at the last possible moment before it is forgotten.
A hook shot on the EGM. Moonlight Shadow will fly through. Trixie taking a lot of damage. EGM goes down, but it will cost Trixie his life. Visage gets credit for the kill with the familiars. Now Koikva pops his BKB rather, uses his ultimate. They'll lose their Earthshaker in the front lines, but now Sniper completely isolated. Rubik goes down. That'll be the end of their Razor. Now Matumba Man stuck off to the side. Koikva can solo him down. Jerax takes too much damage, and it'll be a 2-0. A full wipe on the side of 4 anchors, and Team Tinker just doing too much damage.
Yeah, BKB on the Koikva, and they obviously have the physical damage output. This tier 3 is going to drop so very quickly. Familiars coming in, they're going to get the aura just manually by being within 900 range. And goodbye tier 3 tower, goodbye Rax, and possibly the very fast GG here, 22 minutes in. They don't have any answers. It's just too much tempo coming out from 4 anchors. They'll make their last stand, but it looks ugly. So they'll be leaving. But one thing I want to talk about item-wise, I didn't want to talk about it until the viewers at least saw how unimpactful it was, but this Blade Mail pickup from Trixie, it's really lackluster. It doesn't do anything to the familiars, so they're just going to be able to chew on top of them the entire time. I would definitely prefer a Vlad's or a 4-staff for some survivability.
Yeah, Sing Sing will get initiated on by Boogie. He'll steal the Starstorm. But, hook shot onto Sing Sing. The familiars, though, just completely trucking the Rubik. He falls so quickly. They'll get the kill onto the Mirana, but wow, that damage output. You mentioned the word insane numbers, and that was pretty insane.
The funny thing is, that's not with the Drow Aura. Like, his Precision Aura is on cooldown, so that was just them doing
familiars.
work.
Oh, God. Yeah,
no armor heroes kind of don't do so well against that kind of physical deeps.
Yeah, this is starting to feel just a little bit over. 14,000 gold, 10,000 experience. This is pretty much that insurmountable lead at this point. Even if Team Tinker take a bad team fight, maybe 2, they just have so much power. So much rebound power as well.
Yeah, so they're going to keep it going. Still no blink on Bulba. I guess is the one saving grace for 4 anchors. He's been really putting into the support realm so that EGM can play the number 4. He can build up the big stuff, the agonist, the mechanism. So Bulba taking it slow, but they still maintain map control. And they will lose their tier 1 tower, though, as a Sniper brings that down with the shrapnel and right clicks. This guy's got Mask of Madness. He's about to have his Maelstrom. Definitely some real potential with him, but only if they get the initiation.
Hook shot almost catches Pycat. Jerax will come in, and the Assassinate will follow through to bring down the Dro Ranger. TP's coming home, and there is essentially more down, so they need to be a little careful. The tier 2 tower does fall as Visage stays around long enough to finish it off. Jerax will get isolated on the high ground, and Fissure will lock him in place. So it's a 1-for-1 and a tower-for-tower exchange. Team Tinker still feeling okay with this, and they're not done yet. They'll go in on Rubik and Telekinesis just to buy him some time, but here come the familiars. Remember how this happened last time, and Boogie, oh, he just gets destroyed.
Yep, Starship picking up a nice little kill there, getting the Fissure out at long range. He's already halfway to the Blink Dagger now. So in this position, EGM looks to be going for a Rod of Atos on top. Slow on slow when combined with the Grave Chill, it just gives more deeps time for the familiars to do their thing. So it really is on Razor right now. Volix getting the Aghanim Scepter out when he TP's back to the base. If the Eye of the Storm could kill some familiars with the help of Sniper's right clicks, they have a chance to fold, but it's just that, a chance, as we do see the BKB finished on the Drow Ranger. Obviously, Koikva still has his 9-second one, and he's about to finish up a heart as well. He is just stacked.
Yeah, stacked is the right word here. 14k net
Volix?
at 25 minutes. And, he'll get soloed down. Meanwhile, they're pushing the tier 3 at the base, and he just can't run from the Frost Arrows. Now the fight down bottom will break out. Trixie hook shots in, connects on 2, but to what avail here? He'll just get completely destroyed. Meanwhile, Koikva's just going hard against the rest of the team. Mystic Flare will be totally off the mark. Jerax will live, and Death Prophet will eventually get taken out as she overcommits. But that's a tier 3 tower dead, and maybe a sloppy fight from Team Tinker. It doesn't really matter all that much. The DP will buy back, and looks like they do just want to try to seal the deal as Trixie. Oh, sweet Trixie. They'll give him a pass.
Oh, 30 HP. Yeah, if he'd Fisher immediately... Oh, no, Pycat won't. Blink again. This is the second time they've dived tier 4s, by the way. The Koikoi died under the tier 4s, but Pycat will walk away alive, forcing buybacks on the Rubik, who doesn't have anything in the first place. Yeah, these are the GG buybacks.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate way to put it here. Jerax just gets obliterated once more. Boogie actually the first to go down. Mystic Flare, it tickles, but doesn't really hurt all that much. This is the end, Blaze. This is the end for the 4 anchors. This is the game that seals their fate. They'll now have too many losses to make their chance in the top 4. Cat will blink to disjoint the assassinate. Nicely done there. And this keeps Team Tinker in the running, so good chance they'll be in Kiev, though they still have another game to go. But I think this is where they want to be. They'll have 4 losses and still in great shape.
Yeah, this is just going to be the last stand here. They used the Storm, got 1 familiar out of it, but that's it. Blink Dagger finally got on Bulba, and there it is. At least he is able to pick that up on the courier, if not his own person, by the time the game ends. But GG comes out for 4 anchors. We see the draft, we see the tempo, and 4 anchors come up wanting as far as finding an answer for it. So, good game, well played. Team Tinker dominant in this game, and it's really on the back of a very common but very solid draft. The Visage, the Drow, in this case the Marana, and the Death Prophet are the ones to fill it out, and they hammer it home in 27 minutes time.
Yep. Again, just solid Dota, nothing crazy about the draft, but Visit Drow, still something to be